in middle school, I almost didn't graduate because I would forget that I even had homework, and sometimes I would forget that I was even studying for certain subjects because I was distracted by boys and all that other stuff. It didn't change in high school. Turns out hormones don't help that factor. And in high school, I was even more distracted, and I almost didn't finish. So I said, I don't want to go to high school anymore in Sweden. It's too cold, the people are too cold, and they're always telling me I'm bad at everything. So I went to high school in Kenya. What happened was I had to take up so many Swahili classes so that I could even graduate high school. Because it turns out you have to graduate high school. And I made up for it, but one of the teachers said, this doesn't make sense. There's not a part of your brain that is good at languages, and another part that's good at maths, and another part that's good at filing taxes. Kind of wish there was, but there are no such things. So he said, if you're good at Swahili, you should be good at physics. I don't understand why you're not good at this. And actually, when I was a kid, I had the opposite problem. I was actually really good at math and physics, but really bad at languages. As an immigrant coming from Mongolia to Sweden, all of a sudden I had to learn Swedish, and none of the Swedes speak English, but they speak English well enough to catch you with your bad. And the teachers were telling me, like, you're so bad at physics and chemistry, we think you're gonna not graduate. Like, they literally said that. Like, you're good at languages, you're good at Swahili, not so good at physics. Don't quote me on the Swahili quote right now, because I'm like, long story short, I graduated from high school in Kenya with a Swedish degree, and I applied for business school, and by a very narrow margin I made it in. And I was overwhelmed. Apparently there's a lot of math when you study at business school. No one told me this. So I found something online and in a couple of books called Creative Memory and Memory Techniques. And it's about using your emotions and your feelings to try to memorize more. So who here can remember a single specific homework they had in high school? Say I. Okay, maybe I don't remember any. Who here can remember a specific crush they had in high school? Say I. Okay. A little more, because it's easier to remember a crush than what beryllium is. I still don't know what beryllium is, but the teachers were like, you have to learn this, so I tried. So I call this the ABCs of memory. Always be connecting. So you want to connect what you do know with something that you're trying to learn. So that way your brain has more things to associate with. I didn't know how to associate anything with beryllium, so I had a hard time. But I knew that if I learned Swahili, I could go to Mombasa and I could hang out with my friends and it would be cool and I would be seen as such a Mzungu or a Mchingu or whatever. So I was very excited about Swahili, but not so excited about physics. 49, 28, 44, 44, 5220, 6183. And if you want to see me do this live on television in front of all Sweden, you can Google it later. It was way harder. So the old theory about the human mind and what we're capable of doing is that we can remember 7 things at one time, maybe 9, maybe 5 if we're tired or sleepy or drunk. The new theory of memory, as you saw, it was 20 digits. Like, sorry, a little switch mishap. The new theory is we have no idea how much the human mind can actually memorize, because what I did is 20 digits in a couple seconds, and this is the world record for spoken numbers. So my personal best is 212 spoken numbers, which is really bad in comparison to the world record, which is 456 numbers. So someone can actually listen to one number being spoken at a time for 1 minute using creative memory. Now this is a very extreme example. I'll tell you more about memory championships later. And now I have a very lifelong confidence in my learning abilities. So if somebody asks you, get on a plane to Rwanda and give a speech on a Wednesday, you say yes, and you're here on a Saturday. So the only thing that was difficult was that I felt like I was cheating, because my friends were struggling with business school, and now I had found this magical way to just breeze through it and study 2 semesters at a time. But I also felt very cheated, because this would have actually helped me so much in middle school, high school, any lesson. I would have not needed to learn this slowly if I had had memory techniques before. So why don't we learn this in school? Because it's actually not that hard, and I'm going to show you soon. And it's actually much easier than just rote memorization. You know, rote memorization is when the teacher says, oh, learn these 10 words by Monday, and they give you no context, no reason, no help for why you're supposed to learn that, and they just go, look good. And you're just soaking wet, and the hair you fixed for so many hours is gone, or if you don't have any hair, it drops swiftly on your bald head. I don't know, I haven't had a bald head, so I don't know what water on your bald head feels like. Then you go to your ears, and inside your ears, there are just endless batteries coming out. Those like AAA, AA batteries, there's just batteries coming out and out and out of your ears, and you're wondering, what happened, you know? I can't hear anything, there's so many batteries coming out of my ears. Oh, trust me, this is leading somewhere. You go to your nose, and your nose inside is burning really badly because you have put so much salt, just tons and tons of salt up your nose. And it's burning because salt isn't supposed to go up your nose. And now, while you're closing your eyes, I would like you to take your hand and touch your chin, and just feel what that feels like. Now imagine instead of a chin, a potato has taken its place. And you're wondering, why is my chin the shape of a potato? This is not so great. I have a photo shoot tomorrow, or whatever you're doing. And now you go down to your neck. And your neck has the longest red ruby necklace. And you usually don't wear necklaces, but in this case you are, so just imagine it. Red ruby necklace around your neck. And you're like, oh, look, I'm very rich, look at these red rubies. And somebody's jealous. And on your chest, you look down, and there's a miniature Julius Caesar from the Roman Empire going, how come you can afford ruby necklaces but no Caesar salad? This is preposterous. He's very upset, and he's just jumping around back and forth on your neck or on your chest. And you try to avoid listening to him, and on your belly button, there's music coming out. When you put your hand on your belly button, the music disappears. When you open it, the music comes back, and it's Frank Sinatra singing, fly me to your belly button, or something like that. And Frank Sinatra is singing beautifully, and you're like, this is so strange. So anyway, what happened? Now you can open your eyes. I'm going to see if you can remember the other things. So on your head, you were looking up into the sky, and you saw water. And then coming out of your ears, there were tons of... You're still engaged, I love it. Okay, yes. And your nose is stuffed with... Oh, this is good. Your chin is made of... It's from... Yes. And your belly button is singing... This is amazing. You're so good. Oh, round of applause to your guys. Really good. So good. You really were like, this is weird. And it is weird, I admit. So what we have learned is actually a cheat code using creative memory to memorize hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. So all chemistry is not as boring. And for those who don't know, that is the exact order of the first group 1 of the periodic table. It's more time consuming. And I say, in the beginning it is. In the beginning it is like reading. When you learn to read as a kid, you're like, oh, why do I have to do this? I can already talk. But when you start learning how to read, you can consume information way faster than when you listen to someone speak. So it's like time consuming in the beginning, but so much faster when you get the hang of it. So somebody told me, not somebody, lots of people tell me, remembering isn't the same as understanding. You can memorize all you want, doesn't mean you're going to become a chemist. And this one is my favorite in modern times. My phone already knows everything, why should I even remember? Your phone is not as good at creating new ideas, new innovations, new ways to help our country become even better than before. Phone is very good at ordering you pizza or calling your girlfriend or boyfriend, but not very good at creating something out of the things that it knows. So I usually say, don't think inside the box, don't think outside the box, try combining different boxes. And what I mean by that is, it is helpful to have a good memory because you can do different things like realized that things that seem not so connected are actually very connected. So Albert Einstein, famous physicist, he would actually play the violin when he was trying to figure out a physics problem. Violin and physics doesn't seem related, but actually helps one another. Oops. Oh no, now you saw. I don't know why this. Alright. Then we have soccer. In order to become better at math, it has actually been proven that if you do a little bit of physical sport before math, it actually helps your retention and your learning ability in math. Soccer, Pythagorean theorem, doesn't seem related, but they actually are. Now, here's a little puppy, usually known as a pet in our society, and there's also a rock, and a pet and a rock don't seem like they're able to be combined, but this man who had a crazy idea and combined these different boxes of a pet and a rock and made pet rocks for parents who were too lazy to buy their kid a pet or too poor. And it's a brilliant idea. It seems crazy now, but he's actually a billionaire, or at least he was for a little bit. Apparently you can spend pet rock money very fast. So speed cards. This is just to impress you with what we do at memory competitions, which is very nerdy, but very cool. So we have to memorize 52 random playing cards in as fast as time as possible. My record is 22 seconds, which is really slow compared to the world record, which is 12 seconds. And this is done right in front of my eyes by a Mongolian boy. And this is binary digits, and it's the same thing here, as many as possible in 5 minutes. And the world record is as many or more than you can see on the screen, 1,251 digits. And it's held by a Mongolian girl. So why are the Mongolians doing differently? What are they doing differently? Some people say it's genetics. I think that's a little racist to be like, oh, Asians are so good at math. Obviously, I wasn't good at math, so I disproved that. But I believe they have a school that properly teaches them creative memory. It's called Mongolian Intellectual Academy. You can go there to learn lots of different ways to learn how to learn, which we never do in normal school. And they have a good support system. They have parents and friends who support their endeavors in memory. And they have relatable role models paving the way. So you go back to your country, you say, I studied here, I'm with you, I speak your language. I look like this, you almost look like me, hair color is a little different, but you can do this too, and it inspires everyone. When I started, it was mostly very lonely German men in the sport who had nothing better to do, and now most of the world records are held by Mongolian girls. So is this really useful? Final note, since we saw binary digits, it kind of goes like, oh, so am I going to use this for school? And I have gotten this question so many times that I have started to ask, was Usain Bolt really useful? And for people who don't know, Usain Bolt is a Jamaican man, fastest man on earth. He basically runs around in a circle, and that's his entire career. He probably makes more money than all of us in this room. But if you break it down, that is what he's doing. He's running around in a circle. And we're memorizing lots of binary digits, which seems really not useful, but it is actually helpful for your brain. So I think we could teach this in school, and I think we should teach this in school. And the bigger question is, for all of our societies all around the world, is will we? So, thank you so much.